Hugh comes well educated, but most of what he knows was learned on the playground and Trader's School of Hard Knocks. During a market meltdown, Hugh determined that 1, no one should care more about your money than you, and 2, with the internet, everyone has virtually all the same information available at their fingertips. Armed with these truisms, Hugh dumped his loser financial guru and set out to learn serious investing. Ultimately, he found a mind-boggling day trading system to earn a stunning 5% per day using a highly reliable methodology that can be easily mastered. Humble Hugh's helping of others came on the heels of publicly revealing his daily trading results, a bold step few dare to do. His highly regarded, continually awarded the top position in Pro Trading Profits annual rank and performance rank results, beating out hundreds of other strategies and services. Hugh sports a business degree and background, but he prides himself on connecting with the common folk and keeping it all super simple. His biggest thrill, next to flying airplanes, is watching his students excel at the world of options trading.
That's it. We're good to go. Listen, well, first of all, I just want to welcome everybody here. My name is Hugh, and I got to have an extended thank you for being here because it's lunch on a Saturday, and if you're like me, you can think of a few other better things to do on a lunch on a Saturday, like, gardening, cutting the grass, running around for your wife, But so anyway, I'm really glad that you're here, folks, and I'm going to assume a certain level of traders here, anything from beginners to pros, because I heard the last couple of gentlemen and they were outstanding and great stuff, guys. I mean, very compelling. I could hardly concentrate on my own PowerPoint presentation that I was putting together while I was listening to you. But anyway, you're there, I'm here, and this is what we're all about. Let's get started, folks. A little bit first before we go, once again, welcome and a very special thanks to the folks at Investor Inspiration, because you guys really did a great job putting this together, and for that I thank you very much. So really, that's an amazing concept, and everything, getting everything together in one place. And anyway, let's get going. So once again, thank you very much, guys. This is a estockoptiontrading.com introduction to trading. Once again, my name is Hugh, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a background. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's not important who I am or what I am or anything. What's important is the message, okay? But first, just so you know that I'm not some flake, okay? I used to be an internal auditor for a Fortune 500 company. Actually, I was in the insurance industry at that time. And interestingly enough, as an auditor, you'd think that I would have known better, but I gave my money to my financial guru to invest in my retirement, and of course, they would send these statements out periodically, and stupid me, I would just file them away. I never even bothered to open them up, right? Retirement might as well be the moon as far as I was concerned. That's a long time away. One day I thought that I had better open these envelopes and see, make myself pleasantly surprised, right, as to how much money I have. Well, I got to tell you, I was very disappointed at how little I had. Like so many, not only did I get my money away, but he also lost most of it. So I promptly fired him. And I won't tell you what words I used, but I essentially told him to cut me a check for whatever is left, and I'll be by tomorrow to pick it up. And that's exactly what I did. And I had to learn to do this myself. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm going to run through this pretty quick here, but there are a couple things that I had learned that day. It was a real eye-opener. It's that Waterloo moment in your life. And I learned that, you know what, nobody cares or should care more about my money than me. And that's what I'm saying to you. Nobody should care more about your money than yourself. Don't think you're going to give it to somebody and they're going to care, really, about your money. Most of these financial guys will take your money and use it as, to their agenda, right, and put it to where they're getting the most commissions or whatever serves their purpose. So I really need to know that. The other thing I learned is that now, with the power of the Internet, we have the power to have all this information at our fingertips pretty much as much as anybody else. So there's no reason that we cannot learn to do this ourselves, and it doesn't take all that much either. I also made a lot of money when I went out and learned all this stuff. I made a lot of money and I lost a lot of money, but one thing I intended to do and did was that I wanted to take a lesson from my losses. You'll always learn more from your losses than you will your profits. Okay, the profits you relish and you cherish and you celebrate those, but when you have a loss, then you got to sit back and say, okay, given the same scenario, would I do it differently? Why not? Maybe I should. What was I looking at? What did I miss? What could I have done better? Okay. Don't lose the lesson if you lost money. So with that, the rest is history. And that's exactly what I done. I went out and I did a lot of courses, and even just a couple of years ago, I had a whole closet full of stuff, and most of it I hadn't even opened up yet. And it's funny because I threw most of it away. And I think I had about 400 or 500 hours of videos to watch and a couple hundred hours of CDs and a bunch of books. And I gotta tell you, books on options. I found basically one good use for those, and that was that if you ever have insomnia, folks, okay, you just pick up a book on options, and like a light, no side effects, you're out. Okay, so I threw most of that away, and my wife said to me at the time, "Well, what are you throwing that up? You didn't even look at them. Look, they're not even opened up." And I said to her, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you lose your car keys and then you find them. Well, why would you keep looking? And when I found something that really worked for me well, why do I care about all that stuff in the closet? Keep it there, or, you know, don't you want to give it to somebody? Well, why would I give them something inferior when I have something better? So she kind of accepted that, no problem. But you spent thousands of dollars. Oh my gosh, I spent thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on this thing. We used to go to hotel rooms. You know, they lock you up for 2, 3, 4 days and then teach you all about these option strategies and spreads, and my goodness, I'd walk out of there and then I'd, oh geez, yeah, I better learn that. I better learn that. So I'd go to the next session, you know. Oh yeah, I mean, we learned all about bear split strike combos, long straddles. Do you know when to use the cash secure short put versus a callback spread, or, you know, long straddle, short, all these things, right? Married puts, cover calls, all this stuff. It was just so overwhelming and mind-boggling. So I had cleared all that out of my mind, and I thought, you know what, I know a couple of things. Number one, the market goes up and it goes down. And I am just going to simplify this because there has to be a way that I can make money at this. And you know what, I had found a system, and it was funny because I started bringing home the toys. All right, new cars, new house, new airplane, vacations, and all my friends, family, relatives, neighbors said, okay, Hugh, what are you doing? You got to tell us. Okay, well, I'm trading options. Okay. Show us how, show us how. So they kept pushing me, and then hence my website developed from that. But, you know, I realized that making money in the market is really not that difficult if you know how, all right? And that's what we're going to teach you. Now, what we do is we simplify the complex. It's a very complicated thing if you let it be. Somebody mentioned that earlier today, and I thought that was a really good line. You know, and that is so true, and I keep telling everybody that. Don't make it harder than what it is. We now focus, believe it or not, on one great strategy, using one outstanding stock, working about an hour a day. And I'll tell you what it is. I mean, the strategy is what we call the bread and butter strategy. Okay, bread and butter. Every day, go pick up a few points. Every day, go pick up a few points. Using one outstanding stock. And we use SPY. That's the spiders for the S&P 500. Why? It's the highest traded thing out there. You can put $1 million in options and you're going to be fine. It's the top 500 stocks. It's not some crazy penny stock that's, you know, pump and dump or any other crazy thing, right? And working about an hour a day. That's what I really like, because to me, the stock market needs to be my slave, not me the slave to it. Do I really want to be in front of a computer all day, every day? As it turns out, I kind of am, because I love doing this, but I don't have to be. And believe it or not, I do prioritize, and sometimes I do other things. So let's get on with it, folks. The question here, of course, especially for the newbies, is trading for you? Because I know a lot of people come on here and say, you know, I've been thinking about it, and I don't know, and everybody's telling me to, you know, it's high risk and run for the hills, you're going to lose all your money and all that stuff. And, you know, they're not wrong when they say that. They're obviously looking out for your best interest. But here's what some of the things that I had considered and I had determined after, of course, I had left my my financial guru, who, by the way, I wrote a letter to the president of that company thanking the guy, Mike is his name, thanking Mike for screwing me, okay? If I can be so blunt, because what he did was he forced me to learn this stuff. And if I didn't do this stuff, I'd probably still be sitting in an internal audit position in some, you know, some branch office somewhere in who knows where. But anyway, by forcing me to do this, I had learned how to do this and become very good at it. At least I think I am. I'm doing very well with it. So my life is now mine. It does not belong to anybody else. It's trading for you. Well, you can work when you want, as much or as little as you want. You can work wherever you want. I have traded on ski slopes, obviously in the lodges. I've traded on the beach of Mexico, on cruise ships, even in coffee shops. I traded closed positions using my cell phone. Wherever there is a cell or an internet connection, you can trade, you can be in business. Work as much or as little as you want. There's no punching a clock anywhere. You can start with a little bit of money. Really, a couple $1,000 is all you need to get into this business. And I got to tell you that I can't think of any other business that can provide that for you or give you unlimited income. Let me tell you. I mean, I've known that I talked to a hotelier a while back, and he said to me, Hugh, when my 50 rooms are rented, I can't make any more money. I can't rent tomorrow's rooms today. Well, yesterday's today. This is it. That's my cap. You earn unlimited amounts of money. You have no bosses, no suppliers, no customers. You have no staff, no franchisers, no bankers breathing down your neck, no government agencies always there ready to close you down. You have no inventory. You have to buy, process, store, or sell. And believe it or not, it's a respectable career. Okay? It's a respectable career. And I have to tell you another little story here. And I talk fast because I'm passionate, and I want to get a lot of stuff in here today. Tell you a little story here about one of my people, Neil. We did some sessions together, and we kind of got a little, he told me about some of his personal life, and he told me at one point that he's having a little trouble with the girls. Now, Neil is a CPA, and he's a tax auditor, works for the IRS. And he's one of these funny kind of guys. You can get around with him and stuff. He said, yeah, he's having trouble getting dates. I said, well, Neil, when you go to these Chamber of Commerce meetings or whatever, after 5 meetings you go to, and the women come up to you and chat with you, what do you tell them you do when you're, when they ask you? He said, well, I tell them I'm a CPA and work for the IRS. Oh, CPA, oh, boring. IRS, the enemy, right? They run for the hills. Oh, what do you expect them to do, Neil? I said, tell them something else. You're now a trader. Tell them you're a stock trader. And then it was so funny. He said, well, I'll give it a try. And then, I don't know, a month or so later, he contacted me and said, guess what, Hugh? I did that. I tried it. And believe it or not, there were 4 or 5 girls around me before I knew it. One was actually followed me out to my car talking. I couldn't shake her. I said, oh, really? Then what happened? Well, then she left. Oh, what were you driving? Oh, Chrysler. Oh, what do you expect? Anyway, so how do we make money, folks? We'll use options. And I'm not going to get too technical here because I know there are a lot of new people. But what is an option? Well, it's actually a contract with somebody. It gives you the right but not the obligation to buy a certain stock for a certain price by a certain date. Now, don't get bogged down in the technicals, and I'm not going to really get too much into it, but I'm just going to use this as an example. All right, here's Apple, AAPL. This is a chart from May the 21st. Apple rose approximately $20 in a couple of days, representing about 3.3% growth. Pretty good in anybody's books, but Apple's a pretty expensive stock at $626 or even $600. I mean, a lot of people just can't buy tons of Apple, right, and pick up 3%. But if you'd have bought the option, you'd have bought a call option. A call means that you're expecting the price to go up, right? If you'd have bought the call option back here, you could have probably picked it up for about, oh gosh, that's even $4. And literally within one day, that baby went up to over $16. That represents a 400% profit in literally one day, overnight. Which would you rather have? Obviously, now I'm, again, making this very simplified because there are rights and obligations and different things to both. And so, you really need to know what you're doing here. I don't want you running out and all of a sudden getting into options trading because of what you just saw here. But, clearly the choice is you want to go with the options, right? All right, so what do we do? Well, you know what? I got to tell you, when I first discovered this, I realized that a lot of traders, and myself included, I would muddle along, I would make some money, lose some money, but I never really had a plan for wealth building. And I thought, I need a plan because, I mean, when I take a vacation somewhere, if I go down to, Arizona or wherever on a cruise or whatever, you plan it, right? Here are the dates we're going, and here's the flight, here's the rental car, the accommodations, all that. Most traders don't do that. So I developed a plan. And using my system, this plan you can do quite easily, and I've been told that most people can do this in their sleep by accident, making 5% per day. Start with $1,000. Now, if you start this Monday, all right, you start this Monday and you follow the plan, all right, by the middle of January, all right, which is not that far away, believe it or not, time is going to go by anyway, that $1,000 will have turned into over $100,000, all right? It's a simple spreadsheet, and here's the way this works. It also accounts for the weekends. There it is, 13th to the 16th. There's a weekend in this. So you're going to do a mere 5% a day, starting with $1,000. Now you're going to make $50. We know that's not a lot of money, folks. All right, buys you lunch, maybe a dinner, but you get $1,050. All right, it's $1,050. We're not compounding here, right? At the end of 1 month, 20 trades, that $1,000 will have turned into $2,000. At this point, take $500 out. Take your wife or girlfriend out for night on the town. Do something crazy you wouldn't normally do. Take your husband or boyfriend, whatever. Really enjoy that. You've earned it. Okay. Reinvest the 15. The 15 is going to go to 3,000. From this point on, every month or every 20 trades, whichever you choose, you're going to take $1,000 out. This way, you are rewarded, and you need to do this so that you develop this habit. Most people, believe it or not, put money from their bank account into their trading account. That's the flow. It's supposed to be the other way around. So we're going to get you in the habit of taking money out of the market into your bank account. So along the way, you're going to be taking all this money out. And this, believe it or not, is going to be there. Now, what I tell people is this, and if you want, I can send this to you. It's up to you. I tell people, print this off and manually write in the amounts that you make here every day. Here's where you're going to go wrong. You, believe it or not, using our system, you are going to find it difficult to make only 5%. You're going to chalk in here. You're going to write in here $65, $70, $58, $42, $85, $65. This is what you're going to do. And then up here, you're going to see how easy this is. And up here, you're going to write 120, 130, 150, 110, 145. That's what you're going to do when you're supposed to be making $100. Okay. The problem here is this: you're going to stretch the envelope. You're going to shoot for that one more penny, and you're going to keep doing this. And over here, you're going to see how well you're doing. You're going to push the envelope here. You're going to make $175, $180 instead of the $150 that you're supposed to, and you're going to lose it. It's going to knock you back down on your feet right here. And I know the question you're going to say, well, Hugh, why should I only put $1,000 in when I have $1,800 in my account? The answer to that is very simple: because that is the rule. It sounds like a stupid answer you give a little kid, right? But I'll tell you the reason why. Over here, what you are doing is developing habits. You are training your mental and your physical being to accept following rules, all right, and accept that you're going to learn to be happy with 5% per trade, all right. If you make more at the odd time, hey, more power to you, congratulations, but I don't want you getting greedy, and that is the #1 killer for options trader: greed, all right. The market is not the enemy, it's the person in the mirror. That is the enemy. So that said, there is your trading plan. By middle of January next year, you can have that much money. Now, I know people who are doing this, all right? The people who are disciplined, as mentioned in one of the other, the one before us, the gentleman before us, he talked about discipline. He kept talking about that, and I fully agree, fully concur. Discipline. So do that trading plan. And this way you will learn to follow the rules and you are going to make money. That's the bottom line, okay? And you're going to have fun doing it too. So what do we use? We use our bread and butter strategy. 5% a day. How am I going to do that? Well, let me show you. Okay, let me just show you. I've got another screen. So I've got 3 screens here, so I'm bouncing around back and forth. I have 2 screens. By the way, these charts are courtesy of TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. This here, they are both 1-minute charts. This one is the chart on the, let's bring this up here, SPY, okay, SPY here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this 1-minute chart. I'm just going to mix it up because I don't know where. I'm going to go right to the back, right over here. Let's just take this up here. Just want to give you an example. Okay, let's pull this up here. I want to show you. We're going to be looking at this chart on the left, okay, chart on the left, and okay, I don't know. Where are we here? Okay. Well, all right. Let's just pull this up here. Just give me a second here. You have to be very tight with the. All right, 1252. That's. I want to show you. We start at the beginning of the day. All right. That's really when I get into it because the market tends to go up and goes down. And if I have a starting point, so I'm going to start at the beginning of the day, and that is going to be what I'm going to look at as my entry point. The reason is because I don't want to get into the end of the day or even in the afternoon trading, because what happens if I have to hold overnight, it's just not very comfortable. Okay, so I like to be in and out of the trade fairly early. And right in here, this is okay. The morning of, what is this date anyway? Okay, June the 4th. Okay, June the 4th. And I'm just going to give an example of what we're doing here. So we're actually getting in the morning. We're going to be starting here at 9:30. The light blue is pre-market. The dark blue is during market hours. And we're almost there. We are within about half an hour of being there. So, okay, here we go. Now, I am going to pick a direction, all right, because I said the market goes up and goes down. So I'm going to pick a direction. Here's the chart. I'm going to pick a direction. Okay, let's say I choose to go to the long side. I'm going up, okay, based on the things that we teach you, which I'm not going to get into here because it's long and extended. But based on certain criteria, we're going to go to the upside. And here it is, say 934. This is when we make the decision to go up, and we are going to buy call options right here, okay? And we're going to buy at the money call options. Let's see, June the 4th, so that's going to be a Wednesday, and I'm going to buy call options that are going to expire on the Friday the 6th. All right, so here are the call options. Let's see, 192, let's say 192.50s, 192.50s. All right, so I'm just going to punch that in here. There it is right there. Actually, I have there from before. So let's go back. What's the date here? June the 4th. June the 4th right here. All right, I'm going to call my call options here to go up at 9:34. Now, I don't know whether this candle ended here at this point at 192.54, say in the last, if it was higher or lower, but I don't see this candle until actually 9:35. But let's say somewhere in 9:34, I will have bought this option. So I'm going to take the most conservative approach here. I'm going to take it right here, the highest. So it's at 84 cents. That's the highest. I probably would have got it cheaper. I could have got it as low as 78, or even if I had waited a couple more minutes, because if I was slow on the uptake, okay, I could have got it cheaper. But I'm going to go conservative, and I would have paid 84 cents for it. I'm going to put it up for sale for 8%. 8% I found to be a really good balance between risk and reward, all right, and you get filled almost all the time on this strategy. I'd be hard-pressed to think of a time when I actually didn't using this strategy, okay. Put it up for sale for 8%, a GTC order, get to cancel order, walk away and forget about it. But in this case, if you're going to be watching it, here's what's going to happen, 84 cents. 84 times 108 is 90.72, so let's round it up to 91 cents. Immediately, I put it up for sale for 91 cents. All right, let's just see where it went. And I walk away, and I know it went down. Don't panic, because I know the system works. 91 cents. When did we get filled here? Well, folks, by 9:54, you would have got your 91 cents. In fact, it went up to 92. So you would have been taken out. There is your 8% from 9:34 to 9:54. What is that? 20 minutes, and you're done for the day. Done for the day. Go out, take the dog for a walk, go for lunch with your wife, hang out with your family, whatever you do. You're done for the day. Why? Because it fits into your trading plan. You just made 8%. Give the broker, a penny or something. You still made your 5%, right? Tomorrow, do it again. 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 All right. There's your trading plan. That's the way it works. All right. Now, let me show you some other stuff here, because I know time is tight and I do want to get moving on here. That's our signature bread and butter strategy, making 5% a day. We teach this stuff, but I'll tell you, we actually make quite a bit more money. And if I told you how much, you wouldn't believe it. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm not here to, boast about that. I'm just telling you as a matter of fact. What had happened was, a friend of mine that I traded with, I've known Bert since 1978, so what is that, 30-some years, 34 years, 36 years, I don't know. And we had traded together for quite some time, and I remember the day when he told me he was going to stop trading because he was down to his last, I can't even remember now, $3,000, $4,000 or some ridiculous thing. But he said he was going to do two things first before he actually wraps it up. And Bert, coming from a programming background, he said, first of all, I'm going to block out my account balance, so I can't let that distract me. The other thing is I am going to develop a program that is going to be, it's going to somehow foresee some sort of, I don't know what the algorithm is he uses, something about determining the imbalance of supply, demand, and various other things that he brought into this program. And so he's not going to see how much money he had, but he's going to continue trading this, and he's only going to make 5–10% a day doing this and continue up. And he's going to keep trading up until the platform kicks him out, that he doesn't have enough money. So I remember when he told me that, he said, well, I tried to trade 20 contracts on, I don't know what it was, and they said it kicked him out. Okay, fine. Then he went back to 15. Okay, it took it. And he kept doing this and doing this and doing this. Long story short, within 1 year, I remember when he told me, he came to me and said, guess what, it took 1,000 SPY contracts. I said, Bert, you got to open up. You got a lot of money in there. And eventually he did, and he had just under $1.1 million in his trading account. And it was amazing. So I said to him, well, first of all, I have a number of people that would love to have this program, because I got a lot of people I'm dealing with here. So I convinced him, and we got into this licensing deal, and he has developed what is now called the KISS indicator, keeping it super simple. And we did this years ago, and also from that came two other programs, actually three other programs that we're very proud of, and they have an impeccable reputation, and in the history of being profitable. Now we consider 8% to be our profit goal. If we made less than 8%, we don't consider that a winner. And a lot of people you talk to, they say, well, it gave you 2%, so it's a winner. Well, yeah, you wouldn't sell for 2%. Come on, get real. So we are very conservative and very real. So here's what this looks like. And this is the only place you can get this here. I'm trying to, just to tell you that the importance of this software that we now use as part of our toolbox. And this here is actually the culmination of 3, or actually 4 of the programs together. I'm going to quickly go through this. This section down here on the left, gives us 15 grade stocks, handpicked for tradability, penny spreads, dollar strikes, that kind of thing, including 6 exchange traded funds, including diamonds are in there, so is IWM, the Qs, and so is SPY. All right. Now, when this triggers green, that means there is an imminent move to the upside, according to the program. When it triggers red, obviously it's to the downside. The directional strength is also part of this KISS indicator, and this gives us an idea of the momentum that is coming up. All right, and obviously the higher the number, the stronger it is. Now, these 2 boxes here tell us the highest it's been this day and the lowest it's been this day. So this was a bit of an up day here, whatever this day was. I don't know what the date was that we got the screenshot, but it was a sort of a moderately to the upside day. It went to a 5, and it didn't go down. So we had a pretty good move probably to the upside. Now, the professional money, this flashes as when institutions are buying, okay? And it recognizes that because, as you know, institutions, they're not going to put all their money in at once. They're going to just gradually put it in there so they don't draw much attention to themselves. But anyway, we identified this, and we also use this to make sure that the data feed is alive and well. These 2 programs underneath the Launchpad and the Launchpad Plus are derivatives of this. They use slightly different programming, but the Launchpad, both of these trigger just on SPY. Now, unfortunately, I don't have them lit up, but it'll say SPY, and it'll tell you the date and time, all right, and it'll go red for down, green for up. And when the Launchpad kicks in, and there's a way of doing this so that we teach you when you get this, it's very easy. You're basically going to go to the upside. And again, put it up for 8% profit, walk away, and there are ways that we will show you to make a lot more than 8% as well. But this is a 1 trade a day, the Launchpad, and the Launchpad Plus is similar to the Launchpad, but the Launchpad Plus may give you more than 1 trade a day. So depending on how aggressive you want to be with your trading, or how sort of decisive you are, that's what you would go for. So we had some people saying, well, how about longer term? Do you have any swing trades? Because this has all been for day trading, right? So we recently introduced this thing called the batter's box. It's a swing trade, so it's sort of a link to baseball there. And I didn't realize, but the link to this batter's box is more like hitting them out of the park. Usually about once a day we get a batter's box signal, and it gives you the date and time here. And these things have been performing, I would like to say, flawlessly. And since we actually began testing it, it only failed once. So we are very, very proud of this batter's box. Again, we consider 8% to be the target, but believe it or not, there's a lot more money to be made in this. And I've had some people tell me they made like an awful lot of money on these. So it's really quite the program. All right, it's all in the training, folks. I do want to tell you that how you do in your trading career is going to very much depend on your trading. Just like when I took flying instructions, I mean, if you have a good trader, a good flight instructor, they can do very well for you. And if you have a bad one and a bad experience, you don't get along or whatever, you just get turned off by the whole thing. So I really want to point this out, and I'm going to quickly go over this. What to look for in a coach or a mentor. There are things to look for. And one of the things is you need somebody who understands your needs and goals. All right? And if they try to sell you something that's not, what you're looking for, or doesn't comply to your needs, you're with the wrong person. That's really important. And they have to be in harmony with your style. Trading is a very unique kind of endeavor. All right? Everybody is going to have their own style, and it's going to be very, very unique to you. No matter what strategy you use, you are still going to have your own personal bias, your own personal style that you're going to have to find, and something that you're going to be comfortable with. Well, your coach or mentor has to understand that. And it could be even something like, well, I don't have a lot of money. Okay, well, then I'm not going to try and sell you a system or a strategy that is going to involve perhaps having to buy very expensive stock at some point, or it's going to tie up all your money or put you at risk. Or perhaps you don't have the resources to get in there at 9:30 every morning Eastern time to do the trades. It's nice if you can do it sometimes, but perhaps some people can only get in there in the afternoons and maybe do a sort of an aftermarkets kind of a thing. So you need somebody who actually understands that and who's actually willing to step away or perhaps even refer you to somebody else who can better fit your style. Believe it or not, I mean, I have told people, no, I don't think this is going to work for you because you, well, I'll tell you the story. I had this one lawyer, and he, we did some sessions together, and he was so, for some reason, ticked off about his law business, and he wanted to be a trader. I don't know what prompted him, but we had done, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 sessions or something, and then he asked me this one question. He said, Hugh, how do you calculate percentages again? And that's when I really realized, I mean, I sort of felt all along that he had some real trouble with numbers, but that's when I really said to him, and I said, listen, Sean, I'm going to tell you up front, I don't think this is going to work for you, just based on the kind of questions you're asking me with this. And at this point, if you're asking me something like that, you might want to just reconsider this, and I don't want to see you lose your money. So, anyway, knowledgeable and experience. I've got years of experience, and like the presenter said earlier, School of Hard Knocks. And when we teach you things, we teach you a lot of things that Wall Street doesn't want you to know. All right, there are going to be some things that they're going to say, what? And things that you've learned elsewhere, okay, that I'm going to say, no, we don't use stop losses. What? How can you not use stop losses? Well, let me give you an example. Why? I'm just going to throw this out here. Why don't we use stop losses? Well, let's say you bought this option right here. Where's your stop going to be? Down here somewhere? Where was that? All right. Let me show you this real quick. If you're going to have a stop loss, let's say you have say 84 cents. Let's say you have I don't know, a 10% stop loss. What's that going to take you out at? 76. There's your stop. Your stop takes you out there. Folks, I have determined that stops take you out a lot more than they don't. And if you'd have just waited a little bit, guess what? You not only would have made your 8%, but a lot more, and a lot more. So that's one of the things that are unorthodox with what we do, but we give you the experience, okay? Knowledge and experience. Also has to be an effective communicator. Do they speak your language? Can they relate to you? Can you relate to them? All right, very important. If you guys aren't on the same page with your coach or mentor, you're going to be in trouble. You also have to be very supportive and available. You can email us, and I got to tell you, we pride ourselves on getting back to people right away. Nobody has to wait more than a day, as a rule, and that's what we do, and we're very much right there. So with that, I'm going to invite you, folks. I'm going to invite you to a personal one-on-one session to discuss how we can help you with your day trading. And the way this works is, let me see, I'm going to actually pull up the website here. This is the website. Oh yeah, just real quick I want to show you. We've got several programs. I'm not going to get into the detail here too much because it's more of an information session than the sales thing, and that's not really why I'm here. This is where it all started, right here with this thing called the Inner Circle. Every morning I put my proposed trade up. Very simple, couple paragraphs. This is what I'm looking to do, and I talk a little bit about, I'm looking for an 8% profit target. And then later in the day, I post my actual results, including a screenshot. And on this particular day, which was yesterday, I bought the 195 calls, picked up 9.3% profit, and I'm selling some puts. Not a problem. I'm not worried about them. But this is what it is. Very simple, and you're also invited to a Thursday night webinar that we have. And if you miss it, just click here, and you can go back and see it. So an Inner Circle member has access to that. Real quick, too, we also show you our recent results. I don't know if anybody else who does this, but I post them. And these are real numbers, real results, winners, losers, and even going back to the last 30 days, including if you had just put $1,000 in each of these trades, all right, you'd have made a profit of over $1,900, all right, less your commission. And that includes some days off here when I was on vacation and also some positions that I'm still holding. So that works out to over 8.8%, actually 8.8% based on the number of trading days and 8.5% based on the trades itself, the return on investment. So I just kind of want to show you that. But one of the things, the other things that we do is we do live trading every Tuesday and Thursday morning. But before I go on to that, I want to talk about this one-on-one session. what I'm going to ask you to do, if you are interested in pursuing this strategy and this, this system that we're doing, okay, if you like this 1 hour a day, one stock, one strategy, just contact me. Write to estockoptiontrading.com, email me, and we will set up a time that is suitable for you. And I'm generally open between, say, 1 p.m. and midnight every day. Weekends are also pretty good, okay, depending, of course, on what I'm doing. So we'll sit back and we'll chat for 20 minutes to a half an hour to see how we can help you with your day trading. All right, really kind of cool. Also, what I want to tell you is that we have live trading with the pros every Tuesday and Thursday morning. I mentioned that gentleman, Bert, who wrote that program. Well, he's on, along with another expert trader, Bob. This is what we do. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday morning, these are events. They're not drop-in centers where, you pop in and out at 2 in the afternoon. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Oh, nothing. What's going on? Oh, nothing. Just going out for a walk. Oh, okay. It's not like that. These are events. We get in, we discuss the pre-market activity, we discuss what's going on around the world, what's going to influence the markets, and then when the opening bell comes, we discuss, okay, what are we looking to trade? What's our entry point? What is our setup that we're looking at? What are we looking to combine technicals and fundamentals and psychological and all that other stuff? And then we actually get into trades using our real money. You see it, you witness it, just like here. You'll be watching our Thinkorswim charts, and it's also interactive. Okay, so we go back and forth. We have an interactivity with it in the form of the chat box and questions box. So there isn't all this background noise or feedback or anything else. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning by 11 o'clock, we make our money. We get in, make our money, get out. The rest of the day is ours. All right. Now, this is a subscription service, and again, I'm not going to get into that. If you're interested, get in touch with me, and we'll go over all the details there, or you can just simply go to our website, estockoptiontrading.com. Just to mention, I took a sample. Actually, when the last gentleman was speaking, I thought, I'm just going to give you an example of some of the comments that come in during our live trading sessions, and I just picked 4 or 5 of these from last Thursday. Here's what they do. Our traders, they put in these comments, and I just made 8% on Apple. That was actually on one of those banners boxes. Okay, so you just picked up 8% there. Here's another one here. I made 9% on puts. Oops, it was 13.3%. I guess I made a little mistake there. Picked up another 11%. 21% altogether as of now. Again, don't forget, this is here before 11 o'clock. All right. This happens all the time. Here's one, Dennis. He had 2. Actually, he mentioned this earlier in the day. Picked up 8% on the 193 SPY puts, another 8%. And then he wrote me, gosh, Dennis, I don't even know if he's on or not. He writes to me every day. He tells me what he did. This man is absolutely amazing. He is doing, I would say, 10 to 20% a day using our system. He's actually a doctor in Utah. He's a really good guy. And but here he is. Sure didn't predict a day like today, but this is why I leap out of bed in the morning to get to my computer to trade. First 8%, another 8%, and then he picked up another 8% profit on the SPY calls. Total 24% profit for the day, makes one happy camper. All right, here's another one about this week's 192 puts, 24 cents. They're sold for 30 cents, 54%. Thanks, guys. I love it when they say that. Now his large percent gain was small in terms of real dollars, real terms, but it's still a great gain. Blah, blah, blah. See, you guys do a great job. Anyway, this is really what we do, and we're really excited to have you here. This is what we do. We teach you how to day trade stock options, folks, and that's really what it's all about. Let me see real quick what I can show you here. Products and services, live trading. This is what we're talking about here, live trading, and we use that software I was telling you about. So as somebody who is on live trading sessions, you will see that KISS indicator and the Launchpad and the Launchpad Plus. It's actually very exciting, and you get to interact with us. Hugh, Bert, Bob. By the way, we go on cruises every year. We're also planning our cruise for next year, and these are sessions, conferencing. We all get together as a group. Very exciting indeed. And what else can I show you here? We have a webinar schedule. You can also reach us at any time. Here's our homepage, right? And if you're not on our mailing list, please do so. All you have to do is put your email address in here, and there's some information. We're going to be updating this probably later today because we just got confirmation of our cruise for next year. It's going to be actually on February the 28th. Okay, we're going to be doing the Western Caribbean. So hope to see you on there, and actually talk to your account because I believe it's tax deductible. All right, we teach you how to day trade stock options, and that said, I know my time is coming up here, so I'm going to thank you all for joining us, folks. It's really been a pleasure. Once again, my name is Hugh, and I hope to talk to you real soon. Take care, everybody.